नमस्कार दोस्तों, व्हाट्सअप गाइस, वेलकम टू माय टेक फैक्ट चैनल। तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं बिना किसी टाइम वेस्टिंग के। हमारे पास है
of the
iPhone 12 Pro
iPhone
Max
12
and the
Pro
other
Max
hand is
against the
Samsung
512
Note
gigabyte version of the
S20
Galaxy
Ultra
Note 20 Ultra.
और
This is
Apple
the
का
fastest
processor
phone that Apple has to
A14
offer
Bionic
against the
based
fastest
है
phone
and
that
the other
Samsung has
hand
to offer.
Samsung
And we're
का
going to see which
processor
one is the
Snapdragon
fastest
पे
in this
based है।
multi-part speed test. As
और
always, I
लेफ्ट
will have
साइड
video
में
time
हमारे
codes
पास है
down in the
fastest
description
phone
so
of
you guys
the
can quickly
iPhone
skip
and
around
the
to
right
different parts
side
of the
में
test.
हमारे
And if you
पास
guys appreciate video time
fastest
codes,
phone of
let me
the
know by dropping a
Samsung।
like down below.
चलिए शुरू
Let's go
करते
ahead
हैं
and
बिना
start with the
किसी
speed
टाइम
test.
वेस्टिंग के।
First
आप
things
देख
first, we
रहे
need to
हैं
make sure there are
इसके
no apps
बीच
open in the
में
background,
कोई बैकग्राउंड
and there
ऐप
aren't,
नहीं खुला
so
हुआ
we're
है।
good to go.
So
Let's start with the native internet browsers.
और ऊपर आप देख रहे हैं इसके पॉइंट्स जो कि एप्पल के पहले खुला है।
Right off the bat, we get a close call. While the iPhone shows the emails first, you can't actually open anything until the app fills the screen. Because of that, the Note 20 has time to catch up, and if you watch closely, you'll see that the iPhone finishes expanding the page at the exact same time as the Note 20 finishes loading the unread email counter. Because of that, neither phone gets a point. So as you guys can tell by now, there's a counter at the top which keeps track of how many apps each phone opens faster. I'll be watching the replay frame by frame to make sure this is as accurate of a test as possible. If the phones open apps within about 1/8 of a second to each other, then neither phone will get a point because that could just be the time difference between me pressing on one screen versus the other. And I know that fair tests are extremely important to you guys, so if you check the description, you'll see a full list of everything I did to make this as fair of a test as possible. And I highly recommend that you guys check that list out because I did a lot of different things. The Harmony app was another close call. While the Note 20 Ultra showed the icons first, they didn't finish moving to the top of the page until the exact moment that the iPhone finished loading its page, so neither phone gets a point here either. Now it's time for the RAM test. We're just going to go backwards through the apps to see how many apps are still open. There's a tally at the top again to keep track of how many reloads each phone has, and obviously the less reloads, the better. It looks like the Zillow app does refresh the results on the Note 20 Ultra, but it's not a full reload, so I'm not going to count it. But let me know in the comments below if you think refreshes should or shouldn't count in these tests. We'll talk about the results of the first two tests in a minute, but first, I want to talk about how these perform within applications for day-to-day use. In terms of gaming, I tried Asphalt 9 at max graphics settings and 60 frames per second and couldn't tell a difference between the two phones in terms of frame rate or detail in the graphics. I then tried PUBG with the graphics set to Ultra HD and the frame rate set to Extreme, the highest settings available on both phones. Both phones didn't skip a single frame and the graphic detail was excellent on both. However, when comparing them side by side, the Note 20 offers a more vibrant image and feels more immersive because of how much smaller the bezels are. And speaking of bezels, the notch on the iPhone was surprisingly not distracting because of how you hold the phone. However, if you use a game controller, the notch would likely be a little bit annoying at first. A notable improvement in the iPhone 12 Pro Max compared to the iPhone 11 Pro Max is the thermal performance. The iPhone 11 Pro Max would get notably hotter than the Note 20 Ultra when playing games, but the iPhone 12 Pro Max heats up almost exactly the same as the Note 20 Ultra. And in case you're wondering, I tried the Note 20 Ultra in the max allowable resolution of 2316 by 1080 in the 120Hz mode, and at the phone's max resolution of 3088 by 1440 in 60Hz mode, and the phone
कोई भी ऐसी दिक्कत नहीं आई है, लेकिन जब मैं ये Samsung Note 20 Ultra में खेल रहा हूँ, इसके जो एजेस है वो बहुत ही ज़्यादा अनकंफर्टेबल से फील कर रहे हैं, जो कि आईफोन में बिल्कुल भी ऐसा कुछ नहीं। दोनों का स्पीड बहुत ही अच्छा है। मैं जबकि सारे ऐप खोल रखे थे और तब भी बहुत अच्छा काम करे, कहीं भी लैग देखने के लिए नहीं मिल रहा था इन दोनों फ़ोनों में ही। तो चलिए मिलते हैं अपनी अगली वीडियो में।